Welcome everyone, I'm Ricky from Tech Talk, and today we're unboxing and taking our first look at the Sony Xperia 5. This launched in October 2019, so it's really nice to have it so early on the channel. On the front of the box here, we've got Xperia 5, we've got Sony, who it's made by. On the left and the right of the box, you're going to get Xperia 5. Also, you've got Xperia 5 here on the bottom. Coming around to the back, we've got a little bit of detail in the normal Sony style, where it's massive big space, but tiny cramped down here at the bottom. So on the back here, we've got a 12 megapixel, 12 megapixel, 12 megapixel triple camera on the back. You have an 8 megapixel front facing camera, FDH+, HDR and OLED display, 3140 mAh battery. A little bit worried about that, that's quite small. It's also powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 processor, has an IP6568 dust and water resistance. So let's get it unboxed. So turning back around to the front here, let's lift this lid up. We're gonna get a slow reveal, are we? That's on there tight. So underneath is our device. So let's just sit our device to the side for a second. Then we have some paperwork. It's always good to get loads of paperwork. So we've got a startup guide here, Xperia 5, that folds out. And obviously this will give you information on your device and how to set it up correctly. Make sure it's the right way around for you. So it will show you how to do different things on your device. Very quick startup guide. But you don't need that because I'm going through everything for you now. Then you have Sony important information, so this will have your warranty and other information about certain features on the device and other things from Sony Mobile. That's always nice to have. To take out the little tray, underneath is a UK 3-pin plug. This is going to have a center pop-up third pin here, so please be careful. Very plastic, so please be careful with that. You have a USB power delivery USB-C here, and that's 18 watts worth of charging, so that's really nice to see. I thought that was going to be a USB-A slot. Then we have our cable to sync and charge our device, which is USB-C to USB-C. This is going to be handy to use with other devices as well, but this will work really fast with the Sony Xperia 5. Underneath that, as it is a USB-C, you have been supplied a USB-C to 3.5mm headphone jack. So that's really nice. That's added in here from Sony, as some companies are starting to not add these anymore. Then we've got a 3.5mm headphone jack here for your headphones. And these are just your traditional headphones that come with some smartphones. So that's everything in the box. Let's move that all aside and actually delve in and look at the Xperia 5 in a lot more detail. Here is our Sony Xperia 5. So sadly, I didn't manage to get to look at the brand new Sony Xperia 1, but this is their new model, and obviously they have new ranges as well. So you do have a bit of protection. Now we have removed our protective film, I just want to bring your attention around to the right hand side. First thing you're going to notice is a side mounted fingerprint sensor here, which is really nice to see. Above that is your volume controls. Underneath that is then your power button. Then also down here at the bottom is actually your camera button. But sadly, there's no textile difference between any of these options here, except for your fingerprint sensor, where this concaves inwards. So you'd notice a difference there when you feel along the actual right hand side. But I would have liked to see maybe a color difference or a textural difference from an accessibility point of view. So let's power our device on. Turn around to the back here. So the color is black, quite obvious what it is, but I just want to highlight it to you. You've got your triple camera setup here. Also we have Sony, and then you've got Xperia down here at the bottom. So turning back around, and let's go through the setup phase together. Before we go through the setup phase, I just want to point out here you have an accessibility option called Visual Aids. So let's go into here and go through the accessibility options you're going to find on your device. Also, you could use the volume key shortcuts, where pressing and holding the volume keys for about 3 seconds will turn on talkback. So inside here we have magnification, font size, display size, select to speak, and talkback. The main key structures and the spinal cord of accessibility is available on here from the beginning. So the one I'm going to change is the font size here, just making it easier for me to use when I go through the setup phase. So as you can see there, it's a little bit bigger, but you can choose and adjust any one of these depending on your choice. So it says welcome, so get started. So important information, so these are your terms and conditions from Sony and other services that you need to agree to use the best options on your device. It's then asking you to connect your Wi-Fi network, and I recommend you do this to save data. Once it is connected, it will then check for updates and software updates. Then it's asking, do you want to copy apps and data? If you do, press next, Then it'll ask you what you want to actually transfer it from, an Android device or an iPhone device, or set up as new. You can also go back as well, so you can press don't copy. Again, it's just going to take a second for checking information. Then it's going to ask you to sign in with your Google account, and you need to do this to use all the Google services and all the applications. So say you want to buy some media, that might be music, TV shows, music, books, whatever, you'll need to sign in with a Google account. Plus then you'll get their services like Google Drive, YouTube, and access to all of their applications. If you don't have a Google account or a Gmail account, you can also create one here. So I'm simply going to sign in. Once signed in, it will ask you then to agree to terms and conditions. Then by signing into your Google account, then you get hold of Google services here. And these are the ones that you can toggle on and off depending on your choice and your personal preferences. But go through and have a read for yourself. Then unlock with fingerprint. So we're going to use the new side-mounted fingerprint sensor. It's asking you then for a backup security option, and you can change that option here. So you can have a pattern, pin, or password. I'm going to choose the pin option. Once that's done, it's going to highlight how you need to actually rest your finger on the side mount. So if I just turn this around, and I'm going to do it in an angle where you can still see the device, but also see where I place my thumb. So locate that area. It will come up red when it's not correct. So if you see it come up red, just replace. So I didn't read it correctly that time. That's all set there, which is really nice and handy. So access your assistant with your voice. So this is going to have my voice match on file. If not, you'll go through certain phrases like Hey G to set up certain options then to use a Google Assistant. Let's just check in to see if my voice match is on file, which it should be. Then it's coming up with an option here for Google Pay. So it's the first time I've seen this on a setup process on a device. Pay in shops with your phone. Obviously, I can set up my card here. I'm just going to skip for the process of the video, plus you don't need to know my card details. Then it says review additional applications, and these are all going to be installed, and that's okay. So we're going to hit OK. Next, we have, is there anything else? And you can control information on your lock screen. I'm going to put no thanks, and I think that might be us done. Yeah, you're ready to go. And then we launch into the home screen here. So the same as the Xperia 1, the Xperia 5 is quite a narrow design here. And for me being visually impaired, that's okay, but I need to make the text size a lot larger. So coming across, we've got our Google News here. So I'm glad it's all set up. I'm looking forward to using a Sony Xperia phone. We haven't had one on the channel for a while. So let's go through some of the key information. The first one is your display. So 6.1 inch, and it's an OLED display that offers HDR. Its resolution is 2520 by 1080. It has a 21:9 cinema wide display, really good to watch content on. Has professional color accuracy, offers Dolby Atmos. It's powered by the X1 engine for mobile from Sony. Looking forward to really delving in and watching some content on here. They actually have quite a lot to watch. It offers protection thanks to Corning Gorilla Glass 6, and like I said, it has that side mounted fingerprint sensor as well. So let's test that out. So I'm going to lock my screen here, tap, and we're ready to go. Tap. So let's just check. I haven't registered this one, so it doesn't unlock. Tap with this one, it unlocks. That's great. Really pleased to see that, and I do like a side-mounted fingerprint sensor. Turning around to the back, let's talk about the triple camera setup that you have on this device. So they're all 12 megapixels, but they're slightly different. You have a 12 megapixel f1.6, which is wide. You have another 12 megapixel, which is f2.4, which is your telephoto lens. And you have another 12 megapixel, which is 2.4, which is your ultra wide. It offers optical image stabilization, optical zoom up to 2 times. When it comes to recording video, that can be done at 4K at 30 frames per second. I would have liked to see this at 60 frames per second, plus many other camera options that we'll have a look at. Plus there is one key option that I want to just talk about here, and that's the Cinema Pro powered by the Cine ATA, which is 21:9 aspect ratio for movie recording. Definitely going to be testing that out when we go out and about and actually testing the device. Coming back around to the front, we need to just wake our device up again, do we? Yes, there we go. You have a front-facing camera, which is 8 megapixels and f2.0. That's a wide option. You can see our menu here. I do like the way the Sony Xperia has its overlay, and it's really nice how it works. It's running Android 9, but I'm pretty sure it will get a push up to Android 10 relatively soon. This device offers stereo speakers, so as well as looking good, it's going to sound really good as well. And I can't wait to delve in and just enjoy content. Internally, there's 128 gigabytes of internal storage, and you can use a micro SD card up to 512 gigabytes. You have 6 gigabytes of RAM, so it should be able to power and perform its way through. Like I said, it is running Android 9, but will get a push to Android 10 relatively soon. Inside the engine room, it's powered by the latest Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 processor, which is an octa-core processor with multiple different cores running at different speeds. Its graphics is run by Adreno 640, so it should be able to handle most games that you push at it. And I definitely think we'll be having a look at a gaming video on this device. So what does it weigh? It's quite a nice weight actually. It's 164 grams. Its thickness is relatively thin as well, only 8.2 millimeters thick here. It does look a real stylish device. So as I said, I'm not too used to having a narrow device. I like a wider device, so it's quite narrow but quite tall. And this can be an issue sometimes with accessibility because things could be quite small and like pushed together or squished together. But thanks to the accessibility settings that should be on here, Sony did have some issues in my last video that I did make, as they actually removed some of the settings. So I hope this time when we go into the accessibility video that we'll actually find them accessibility settings all on here. I'm really sure that Sony have improved that from last time. So let me know what you think down below. Are you thinking of getting an Xperia 5? Do you maybe have one of their other latest Xperia lines? Or do you even have their flagship Xperia 1? But I'm glad it's all set up, it's ready to go. I'm currently just planning to go and see the Cincinnati Bengals versus the LA Rams at Wembley for the NFL here in London. So I'm going to take this device with me and do some photos and video recording and let you know how we get on. Thanks always for watching, and please leave a comment down below to get any information or any advice. I'll be more than happy to. While you're down there, please give a like on the video, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel to stay updated with all the latest videos. For me, Ricky, and the brand new Xperia 5, I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.